I wasn't able to find God when I was younger, and it was really hard for me, and I felt mad. I felt rebellious. I felt like everyone kind of knew me as like messed up because I don't know. I was just super rebellious at the time, and it's kind of like I have empathy for the devil, but I don't want to be a bad person, so
this can be like very programmed in the church and in the dogma of even just the concept of sin. Sin actually means, it's an archery term. It actually means to miss the mark. I didn't know that I could love God without religion. Actually, in religion, spirituality is condemned. All of the things of spirituality, meditation, plant medicine, crystals, tarot, I thought all of those things were like evil.
Yeah.
And they're not.
When I'm beating myself up, when I'm doubting myself, I'm actually just looking for different angles on how I can improve.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It actually serves evolution.
And when we take the charge off of the criticism, then we can clearly see, okay, is this what I want? Is this not what I want? We can access discernment. If criticism and blame and self-judgment worked, then that's what I would teach. I would teach you how to judge yourself so well. But it's just not an effective strategy when you want to grow and you want to evolve. I'm Catherine, and welcome to The Spiritual Gem. The purpose of this podcast is to demystify the inner work, to normalize vulnerability as a measure of bravery, and to teach you the transformational tools so that you can shed the layers of anxiety, depression, unworthiness, self-doubt, and walk this planet with the lightness, the joy, the clarity that is your natural essence. In each episode, you'll meet one of my private clients as they reveal their deepest traumas, inner woundings, limiting beliefs, so that you can see in real time what it looks like to truly heal by going within and meeting these inner parts with the love, with the medicine that they need. It fills me with life having these paradigm-shifting conversations, and I'm so excited to have you here. Yay. Well, here we are in our second session.
Mm-hmm. Yay.
Welcome.
Yay. Came in quite emotional today, but we'll see what comes up.
Yeah, good.
Mm-hmm.
We can use that.
Let's do it.
I first want to check in of how you've been integrating from our last session.
I would say that was just the inner teenager part of that session really, really hit me because like I said, I've never had that type of guidance with her, with that part of me. And so I've been transmuting all of that, like trying to meet her with love, and continue that when the resentment and like feelings of anger and stuff come up. Like I said, I'm really emotional today. So.
Yeah. What's present for you?
But just a lot of things. I think my head's kind of overwhelmed, but.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I've been integrating how to like meet her with love whenever I find myself feeling like resentful. And what really helped me was bringing God into the picture. And like always just like praying, easy to go to books and stuff like that.
Yeah. And I want to keep talking about the last session, but the emotion is already here. So I want to presence that. Maybe we can come back to
her later.
Come back to that later. So if you just close the eyes for a moment and take a breath. And giving this tenderness the mic. What does it say?
So I can kind of give an example of what I'm feeling right now, which is like my brother happened to call me on my way here, and he figured out that his car was towed and he had to pay like $500 for it. And he was telling me, he's like, it's so funny because I didn't even mean to park over there, but you know, this happened. And so now I have to pay it forward and stuff like that. And that's kind of a similar emotion to what I'm feeling right now, which is feeling like I make mistakes or do things that I don't mean to do, or make people feel ways that I don't mean to make them feel, or say things that I don't mean to say. And then my intentions and like my purity and my value seems to be undermined. So I'm like, that causes a lot of hatred. And I think my inner teenager could relate to that totally, because she made a lot of mistakes that she didn't know that they were, or that wasn't her intention, you know? But you have to pay it forward and stuff like that. And that's totally fine. But yeah, I'm so emotional right now because of
that's okay.
That kind of a feeling where you just do things, say things, act certain ways that you don't mean to, and you don't want to come across like that. But it happens. Yeah. And I have a lot of self-hatred towards myself sometimes for certain things. I know today was small. I was late today, but it brought up this.
This is what it brought up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay, well then this was definitely divinely orchestrated. So for the viewers at home, what happened was that you typed in the address, except we're in Santa Monica, and it took you to
Huntington Beach.
The same address, but in Huntington Beach, which was like an hour away.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And I got stressed out. I was like, frick. And so I had to rush over here. And then my brother happened to call me, and he was like, it kind of gave me some clarity, because I'm always trying to figure out what's divine in the situation. And I was like, he was just explaining how he made a mistake. He parked in a place that you weren't supposed to park in. And you just have to pay it forward, like whatever.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we're just diving right in, which I'm all for.
Sorry.
No, it's good.
It's
like it's here and we're going into it. So we just talked about this part and about the feelings, but now I want you to talk from them, because that's really where the healing happens. People will actually talk about how they feel as a subconscious way to avoid feeling what they feel. And obviously you're not avoiding feeling what you're feeling, but you may have resistance to feeling the entirety of it.
I would say there's a lot of resentment and anger. And so it's like hard for me to process it when there's that.
Yeah. And the resentment and anger is directed towards self?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we'll definitely be doing some self-forgiveness. My sense is like there's a couple different parts here. So I'm going to have you close the eyes again. And whatever emotion feels most accessible, whatever part of you is most accessible here, when I hand her the mic and talk directly from her experience, I wish, I feel, I don't know why.
I wish that everything's always working out for me, which it is working out for me, but I still sometimes feel like I make mistakes. Yeah. I want to say I wish I was perfect.
Yeah, then say it.
But
let this part be unconscious. You don't have to filter in this part, because a lot of times these parts are like beyond rationality, they're beyond logic. So actually people who are more advanced in the inner work like this, and like myself included, they will, when they're like speaking from this part, whatever part it is, they'll be like, everything sucks and nobody loves me and I'm never gonna find anyone that I want. Like they really just let this part be exactly as it is.
Usually I do that. I just feel like I've had to learn how to self-soothe. And so I try to reason like what I'm doing and saying by like in my head, I'm like, I want to say that I want to be perfect. But my head just self-soothed myself and was like, but nobody's perfect. Like, you're going to be okay. And so then I like talk in both sides. But I'll talk straight from the wounded one.
Yeah.
I feel alone and pointless sometimes. Like, ever since I was younger, I felt like I wanted to do something or have some sort of purpose. And then you just kind of realize that purpose is made up. I still have this other voice that wants to be like, you do, you know? But,
and stay with this part.
Because, like, if I don't, then why don't I just, like, I don't know. I just gotta let go, like, surrender from all that. But I just don't want to mess up.
Yeah.
That's the biggest thing. And I know messing up is on so many different terms, not just mine, but other people's. So I feel confused. My head is like kind of spinning right now on what to say. But
yeah, you're doing great.
I'm trying to figure out how to get deeper with this one.
What if we suspend figuring out? You just feel it.
Yeah. It's a lot of rage. Screaming. Like, I don't know why I'm here. You know, I was listening to dubstep on the way here. And I was like, wow, that's why I used to be into dubstep, is because of that feeling where it's like, I don't know why. I don't know what I did wrong. Like, just all pain, just like into it. I think that's why people go emo and listen to scream music and stuff. It's kind of like I have empathy for the devil, you know? But I don't want to be a bad person, so what do you do?
Yeah, seems like that's what is more core with this. I don't want to be a bad person.
Yeah.
The belief.
And having empathy for bad people. Too much. Because then I put myself in situations I don't feel good in.
Yeah.
Just because I'm trying to figure them out, you know?
Yeah. So I want to help you express some here. Whenever we're dealing with anger, rage, kind of those intense emotions, my sense is that this part will not be fully seen or resolved until you get out more of this energy. And we could sit here and cry, but that's kind of the longer route to resolution. So would you be open, and I'll let you choose. You can see like what feels right intuitively for you. You could, we could get one of those pillows over there. You could beat the shit out of a pillow. You could yell into a pillow. You could push against a wall. Yeah, I think those are the most feasible ones right now.
So I already screamed my head off in the car, and that worked pretty well.
Yeah.
I think I'll just scream into a pillow.
Okay, yeah.
But it's so true. I can cry and cry and cry. All of these overwhelming thoughts, I feel like a puzzle that's not put together. I can't figure it out. I don't know what I'm supposed to do with it.
Yeah, you're doing exactly right.
All on my own, like everyone else.
Yeah, take your time to connect with that. And when it feels like the right time, go ahead, scream, yell, punch. Yeah. That was really good.
That was intense.
Yeah.
But very raw and real.
Yeah.
Something I would do on my own. I've never done this before. So.
You've never been filmed while raging out into a pillow?
Yeah.
Weird.
Nope.
Yeah.
First time for everything.
So having that be expressed, what do you notice is underneath that? Is there anything that's accessible now that wasn't really accessible beforehand?
That was just a huge release. So now I feel more able to talk from a place that's maybe more accepting of it, since the voice was heard, it was put out there, I guess.
Yeah. So this is so brilliant, the way that you did this and how you've come into this session. So for people who are watching, listening, take notes on this. If you don't fully express I'm using the transform method, which is explore, express, embrace, embody. If you don't fully express what needs to be expressed, when you embrace, it won't land. So when you bring in the love and the open-heartedness and the acceptance, it won't really work. It'll feel somewhat dismissive to the part of you that is hurting because she's not done feeling.
Yeah.
So this was actually a really great teaching moment. Like what you did, going into it, feeling it, just letting it get big, letting it be raw and primal. You know, sometimes I'm like beating the mattress. I'm like beating. I'll do this thing with my fist where I'm just like beating my fist like that. Kind of
do what you gotta do.
Intense. Do what you gotta do. Push against the wall. Shake your body. Rage out. Whatever you have to do to let that energy come up and be expressed.
Yeah.
So it's really beautiful. Thank you for that.
Yeah. Thanks for holding the space.
Yeah. Oh, so let's tune back in here.
Yeah, I feel a lot more open now.
Yeah,
to receiving. Like before I even started this session, I almost cried. Like that needed to be addressed.
Yeah. And probably what a lot of that was just the leftover cortisol and nervous system dysregulation from driving here in a hurry.
In rage. I was like, I always wonder why people are such in a hurry when they're driving and like they go past me. I'm like, dude, slow down. Like you need Jesus or something. And then here I am, just like so raged out.
Yeah.
So it happens.
Yeah. Seeing things from both sides of the coin. It's like, oh, I get that.
We all got both sides, dark and light.
And when the nervous system is dysregulated, we talked a lot about the nervous system in our last session, and I gave kind of a whole overview of polyvagal theory. So go back and watch that if you're not familiar with that. When the nervous system gets dysregulated, which means goes into sympathetic, fight, flight, cortisol, like spikes way up in the blood. And there's only so many ways that energy can be released. There's only a few ways that we can express tears, yelling, and movement, really. It's like either tears, voice, or moving the body. It's like a very primal part of the brain.
Interesting. I didn't know that was the only way to do it, but makes sense. Gotta get it out.
There is one other way that I've done in a few client sessions, and I do it with myself, but it is more nuanced and more difficult to lead someone else in, and that's doing it through imagination.
That's what I usually try to do. Like if I can't, like I'll just take a bath, lay down, like try to meditate out of it. But
well, it's not meditating out of it. Actually, it's more, I guess, like meditating into it. So what one image that I go to is I pretend I have a bat in my hand. Mm-hmm. And I even like grip my hands as if I'm holding a bat. And in my mind, I'm like smashing a car. and I don't have to move my physical body, but that actually does express the energy. But it's a little more challenging of a technique. I usually just go with like the physical expression.
Yeah, I would say physical works more for me too. Yeah. I've had I one time imagined myself lit on fire and I was fighting something to try and get rid of the rage that was happening at that time. But then I felt like it felt really good when I was doing it.
Yeah.
But I don't think it went completely away.
Yeah.
I'm with you on the physical thing. I prefer that.
Yeah. So a couple of the things that you said earlier have piqued my interest, particularly the last portion that we were getting into with, I don't want to be a bad person. You have not taken your Enneagram, have you?
No, what's that?
We've never talked about the Enneagram. Okay, I got to send you the test. I can't believe I haven't had you take it. The Enneagram is a personality framework that I work with. It's numbers 1 through 9. And it's an ancient framework. No one really knows exactly where it came from, but it's based on core desires and core fears. And this isn't like astrology or human design where it's based on your date and place and time of birth. It's based on your personal psychology. And this, I don't want to be a bad person. This is very core to one of the personality types. It's number 1. It's the perfectionist or the good person. So the core fear of a type 1 is that I'm inherently bad. I'm inherently wrong. And the core desire is to be good and to be, is that touching?
That totally resonates. Yeah. I probably have that in mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I wasn't sure if a little emotion was coming up, but I think maybe you were just sniffing.
Yeah.
And the core desire is to be good, there's like a very strong desire for excellence, to have, high standards of how you hold yourself in the world. Mm-hmm. And
for me, it's service to others too.
That's huge as well for
my love language too.
Yeah. So you could be a 1-wing 2 or maybe even a 2-wing 1. I'm a 2. 2s are the helpers, the givers, the friendly person, the connector. And at the core for a 2 is I'm loved, I'm safe if I'm wanted. And so that's the core desire, is to be wanted. The core fear is being unwanted.
I resonate with that one too.
Yeah. So
it could be mixed both.
Mm-hmm. We're all of the numbers 1 through 9, but we do typically have one primary number. But I always ask people what are their top 3, because I think that gives a better picture of a person's personality. So I will send you the document for that. I have a Google Doc with a bunch of resources, and I will also link that in the show notes for anyone else who wants to take the test and learn more about the Enneagram. It's been super helpful for me in my healing journey, and I use it all the time with my clients.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'd love to check it out. See what numbers come up.
Yeah. And let me know. I want to know.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to hear more about this. Now, I'm going to kind of take this a step further. Do you think that there is a belief to a part of you that I'm bad?
You or me?
You.
Is there a belief that I'm bad?
Mm-hmm.
At the core, no, because I know my intentions aren't bad. Do I feel like sometimes I come across as bad and make other people think that I'm bad? Yeah. And that kills me because that's opposite of what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, it's like the fear of being seen as bad.
Yeah, more so.
And I'm curious because I know you have that inner self-soother. For me, I call her my coach, my inner coach. She'll never let me believe something wrong. Do you think that when you just answered that question, that was coming from the self-soother, the inner coach? Well, I know I'm not really.
You're not. Yeah, you.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? Yeah, it definitely was coming from her. But I definitely question her too sometimes because I'm like, wait, like I have to take accountability for my actions. You know, if I get drunk and say something stupid, I got to take accountable for it instead of just being like, I'm perfect, whatever, you know?
Yeah, absolutely.
But the beating myself down part is, like, I just don't do it. So sometimes I ignore it because I don't want to, I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Right?
So I love that you said that because those are two different things. We can take accountability for our actions. That's personal responsibility. And not have the energy of self-blame and shame and criticism that goes along with it. So I'll give you an example of something that actually happened just this last weekend. If you saw my Instagram post today, that's what it was about. How I got triggered, like big time triggered by my partner on Friday. And what he was trying to communicate to me, which he didn't do in a very good way, was that he felt unappreciated because he had done a lot for me. He had watched my cat while I was on a trip, and then he had done this and he'd done that. He felt unappreciated by me. What I heard was, I don't like supporting you. You don't deserve my support. And it brought up a lot of unresolved trauma from my dad not supporting me. So that's not what he was saying, but that's what I heard. So I had to go through a whole process of like, okay, whoa, what is this huge reaction that I'm having? Anytime that you have a reaction that's bigger than the situation, that's trauma. That's a trauma response. So I knew it wasn't just about what he was saying. And also I couldn't hear him through the filter of my trauma, through the filter of my trigger. So I did my own inner work. I did my own inner healing, emotional mastery work with that. And then I was able to actually have a conversation with him and hear what he was saying. And without the intensity of like the unsupportedness, the underdeservedness, and the shame, there's like a lot of shame that came along with that. I was able to say, oh, you're right. I didn't properly thank you for that. And it really means a lot to me that you offered to help me in these ways. And I'm really grateful for that because I had met myself with love and met my inner part that was like, oh my God. I could take responsibility without being defensive for what he was saying and be like, yeah, I can see where that's right. And I'm sorry.
That's so awesome that you have the tools for that, because I can just see those so many points in my life where I've been triggered. And like today, I was definitely triggered. Like it wasn't that big of a deal, but it made me like be balled up with emotions. And if you don't have tools to address those emotions and the traumas that are arising, then like you just end up ruining another thing, or I don't know.
Yeah.
At least I've done that before where like, I'm just like, you don't even understand.
Yeah. So then it's like,
so then I blow it up instead of being like, okay, it's okay.
And then that person doesn't feel seen or heard. You don't feel seen or heard. And it's like there's multiple different parts of you not getting the love that they need. There's multiple different parts of that person not getting the love that they need. And, once I did that clearing, I was able to see, what that really was for you was that you felt unloved by me. And you were actually asking for love, even though that's not how you said it.
It came out with her.
It came across as like with an essence of blame and like, you can't expect me to do this and this and you can't. And, he's an Enneagram 5. He doesn't have the highest amount of emotional intelligence sometimes when we're triggered, none of us really do. But that's kind of
very fair. Yeah.
That's kind of a hallmark of the 5 is that they're not as familiar with the emotional environment. And so then he saw my like explosion of emotion and being like, you're making this about you. I'm trying to tell you something that is affecting me. And now you're making this about you. But then I'm receiving that as like, well, you're not being compassionate for my trauma. And it's like, it just goes, it's just layer of being unheard on both sides.
Totally.
And it takes a lot to be able to see like, okay, what is actually going on? But you can't see that through the filter of your trigger.
Right. Yeah.
And to your point, what you were saying is that, at least what I heard you saying, is that when things go unresolved over time, it builds a reservoir of pain for that particular kind of pain. So my sense is that this pattern, if you will, of beating yourself up, beating yourself down, self-hatred, self-criticism, that's probably been here for a long time. And this small thing today of you going to the wrong address.
Triggered
that unhealed reservoir.
Totally.
Yeah.
Gotta swim across it to meet people.
Yeah. Is there any particular time in your past where you did get in trouble for being bad, or that any memory that feels like an energetic match for what we're working with today?
Well, when I was in high school, I was smoking weed like since I was younger. I don't know if that's okay to bring up, but yeah,
it's my show.
Okay.
I smoke weed too.
Well, yeah, I've been smoking weed since I was younger. And then I went to a Catholic high school, and almost all the kids that were there had come from the Catholic high schools that they all grew up together in before.
Yeah.
My intuition really wanted me to go there. And I think it did save me for just a lot of reasons. There's no problem being around God and those kind of people who pray and put out good intentions. And I know that now, even though I was like still like super rebellious at the time. But yeah, I got in trouble for like, they randomly called me and tested me for like drugs and stuff. And then I got in trouble for that. There's another time where I got in trouble for drinking at a game. And yeah, I felt like everyone kind of knew me as like messed up, because I was, I don't know. I was just super rebellious at the time. And some people had different things, like, but I found everything that everyone else was doing kind of boring, to be honest. So it was fun to like go out and get fucked up. That was high school me though. So
yeah,
I've grown, but this is probably what you were trying to tap into, because it's there. There's
here.
Emotions.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I feel like the person that's messed up.
Yeah.
I got a DUI when I was 16. I don't tell a lot of people that, but I'm open to being vulnerable, just because I'm not one to hide true colors. Everyone has their things.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So that made me feel like another mess up, kind of. Yeah. But with every single one of those mess ups, I just knew that it wasn't really a mess up. It was more like, I don't know, call it a cry for help, but for what? I'm alive. Like,
yeah,
I don't really know where that side of me.
So I hear 3 different parts that I'm going to reflect back to you, and you let me know if this resonates with you. There's the rebel, and I have a feeling that she values being spontaneous and wild and challenging the status quo, and she wants to do what she wants, and like,
Yep.
There's the judge or the critic or the good person, maybe even like a little like Catholic nun. That's like
actually Catholic. That's funny you say that.
That's like, looking down like with all this judgment and like, shame. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
And then there's another part, which is the self-soother.
That you just laid that out like perfectly. I've never had that before. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But that's it. That's like really where all the like chaos and rage comes from too. Because those 3 different parts, it's stressful because they're so countered.
And they're
So
like
it's
all
like,
talking
who's
and
right?
feeling at the same time. Exactly. Like, who's right?
I'm like, so ever since I was younger, with those 3 characters in my head, so to say, I just wanted to like rip myself open. Like, I didn't even want to, like, I wouldn't, like, the nun in me is like, you can never kill yourself. Are you kidding me? The rage in me is like, this is so confusing. I want to kill myself. And then the other one is just there.
Yeah.
But I don't know where I was going with that.
Yeah, that's okay. I'm tracking. So we're going to do, I've heard this be called a parts party, where we're going to speak uninterrupted from each of these parts. Because here's the thing, none of them are bad. None of these parts are bad. They value different things. And the only time that it becomes a problem or it's stressful is when we are identifying as all of them and not realizing that there's separate parts of us that want and value different things. Mm-hmm. And when we're not identified as them and we're able to see them separately as having their own identity, then we can understand, oh, okay, I get why I wanted to do that, because that was actually this part and she really values fun and she wanted to be wild and spontaneous. Or this part really values being, I'm hesitant to use the word good. We can talk about the spectrums of ego, but ego really sees things as good and bad.
I want to say wholesome. Like she values that.
Yeah.
Instead of like outrage. It's like, let's be wholesome.
Yeah, being wholesome and maybe calm and studious and following the rules.
Solitary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we'll find out what they value and we'll find out what they want and how they're trying to serve you. And we'll have some conversation between all of them. And through that conversation is where resolution happens and understanding.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
So as you take on these different identities to speak from them, you may want to shift in your seat a little bit or change your body position in any way. You don't have to do that, but sometimes it can just help you to like
get in
shift.
the persona a little.
Get into the persona a little bit. So let's start with the rebellious one. What do you want to call her? The rebel, the rebellious one?
Yeah, we can just call her the rebel.
The rebel. Yeah. So tell me about the rebel. What does she value? What's important to her?
She really values change. That's the biggest thing. Yeah, she values change, having fun, being adventurous, spontaneous, like figuring out new things, giving a voice to the voiceless. It's a big one. Saying things that people don't usually speak up about.
Yeah, like kind of like a sacred disruption, like a sacred disruptor.
Yeah, I want to say that. She's the part of me that, like, when I was growing up in the Catholic Church for a little bit, I was like, what is he talking about? Like, why are we talking about a guy that like lived way back then? I have a lot of different religious beliefs now because of the things that I've been through, and I value that part of me that grew up Catholic. But back then, I definitely had the voice for like, what are we doing here? You know?
Yeah.
Like, why all of this stuff?
Yeah.
But so yeah, she's rebellious. Can't really think of anything else that comes to mind.
Why do you think that she would have gotten developed? What does she really want for you? What's the emotional desire that she has for you?
The rebel, evolution. She wants to serve evolution in the best way possible. And I felt like the church that I at least went to was not really good at helping me understand why they were preaching and programming and saying these things. So I just felt like there was something wrong with it. And so then me and my brother were asking so many questions. My parents ended up leaving the church with us. But I think we're all getting closer to the divine, like, which is something that you have to find within for sure. No one can just like read scripture over and over again, get you to understand it. I mean, maybe, but that's not how it worked for me. And so I was frustrated at the methods that, like, I wasn't able to find God when I was younger, and it was really hard for me. And I felt mad, you know, I felt rebellious, and that's okay. But I definitely was outraged for that. So the rebels' purpose is to try and be like, hey, there's some, like, we need a different way, or we need to figure out how to allow people to access, because I've accessed the, like, what do you call it? Like the divine realm, but it wasn't through reading a book. It was through experiences. So the rebel wants to change. Change ways, I guess. Make religion less suppressive and less like, oh, if I do bad, like God's going to punish me, because we're all sinners, you know, like that's, God forgives you, you know, that's the thing that I find with my spirituality now.
What came in for me was the word truth. Does it feel like she values truth?
Yes.
Like uncovering.
And I felt like I was in a world of lies. So the rebel, she was pissed.
Yeah.
And everyone else was clueless too. I was like they knew what the book says, but like, why am I not feeling that? Like, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know if you know this about me, but I went to Catholic school my entire life.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And except for 2 years in public high school and except for a couple years in a Christian middle school, but I'm very familiar with Mass and the Catholic Church and the teachings and the dogma. And I did not resonate very much with Catholicism, but I did really resonate with Christianity, which I kind of saw as like type A and type B. Like the Catholic Church was like type A, Christianity was like type B. I'm like, they have better music and they're like cooler and they're like, you know, it's not so much stand up, sit down, stand up, sit down, kneel, stand up, and like all this like rigidity. And I had a Bible next to my bed all through middle school, all through high school, and I would like highlight the shit out of it.
That's awesome.
I was always seeking my connection with God, and like going to Bible camp was my favorite camp, like church camp. Like I love that shit. So I come from a very religious background, and not because like no one went to church with me. I went to church by myself.
Wow.
All through middle school and high school. And like my dad would actually drop me off and pick me up from church because he didn't want to go. He didn't want to go to church.
How sweet of you to go on your own too. Like,
yeah.
That's beautiful.
So it makes sense. Like the role that I'm in now, it's like actually I've always been this person. I've always been like I kind of hesitate to call myself a spiritual teacher, but it feels like I am. I mean, I think everyone.
You work with emotions really well. Like, I lay them out there and you place them. It's amazing.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So I understand a lot about what you're talking about, of wanting to figure out what is actually going on, wanting to know the truth, and having that rebellion of like, this can't be the only way. It sounds like you got to that place before I did. That was really me in like my early 20s. And that was before I left the church and found my own way to God through my spiritual practices. And I've never felt more connected to God now in the last 5 years of my life than I did.
I love what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I did my whole teenage early 20s. I actually remember being in the car passing my church. I used to live in St. Louis, and I was passing my church, and I I remember saying, like, there's gotta be another way. Like, is this really all that there is? Just the Christian church or the Catholic church or
Right.
being Buddhist? Or,
like an identity?
Like there's nothing, I didn't know that I could love God without religion.
Me too. I went completely like, okay,
Yeah.
that's what really messed me up a little bit.
Yeah. Because actually in religion, spirituality is condemned. All of the things of spirituality, meditation, plant medicine, crystals, tarot, I thought all of those things were like evil.
Yeah.
And they're not at all. They're not.
Gosh, this is so funny for me.
But that was a whole evolution and transformation process for me, understanding that God is literally everything. There's nothing that isn't God, and there's nothing that can't serve my evolution to God. And some people in the Christian and Catholic Church, they really do find the ritual and the dogma as a path to God. For me, it wasn't. It was a path away.
Yeah.
But for some people it is. And I think really more than anything, it's about finding what's resonant and true for you, which is what the Rebel is all about, what she really values.
Yeah. So going to mass and stuff, their methods, also didn't work for me very well. So I was just upset because I think my soul knew that it just wasn't it. It wasn't God, It was just a ritual that everyone did every day. And I hadn't gone through the struggle to find God on my own to even know what God was. And so that's what made me ask so many questions of like, why am I here? Why am I alive? Like, what is God? What is this? What is that? And then that turned into hatred and resentment towards Creator. And
that makes sense.
It never left my side though, because I found my way back. But because if you go too far, you're gone. Like, I want to be close to God. I love that now. But I used to just like be so upset. And I just keep hearing this voice that's like, it's okay. You had a right to be upset. Like, there were reasons. I think we're all creators and stuff. So whatever.
And I think that served you to go through that process of being upset and maybe like feeling lost, maybe feeling angry at God or at the church, because it ultimately it pushed you to finding your own connection. At least that's what I'm hearing, your own connection in your own way to God, which that's the whole point. There's no one right way to God. That's why we have so many different religions. All of the religions are the same, actually, for anyone who doesn't know.
They are. Yeah.
Yeah. At the core, every major religion is about love and unity. At the core, across the board. But different people resonate with different things. In different methods. So it makes sense. Like, if God was really like really smart, don't you think that he would have created multiple different systems for people to come to him or her or them, it? Like, that's what I would do if I wanted to make sure that my love got spread throughout the world. I would not be under the delusion that only in that one specific package of that love is going to resonate with everyone. So some people are Buddhist, Taoist.
There's different
Jewish
and universal religion. I would say that's where where I would land a little bit more.
Yeah, that's where I land. Like New Age. I just say spiritual. I just say I'm spiritual.
Yeah,
I just love God.
I'm just in love. Yeah,
exactly. In love. I say that a lot.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll sign my emails in love, capital L.
Yeah. I remember getting an email from you that said with love. I was like, oh, I don't usually have people write emails with that.
Yeah.
That's what I do too.
My emails are very nice if anyone wants to get on my newsletters. That is usually where I am the most vulnerable and raw and just like spilling my heart. It's like a personal blog, but in email form.
It gets deep. Yeah.
Yeah, it gets deep. But so we went on a God side tangent there, which I think was really valuable.
Yeah.
But I want to refocus, come back. So we talked about the rebel. Let's talk about the judge.
The judge. Okay.
Is that what you would call her? Or the critic? Or
part of me wants to say the nun.
The nun?
Yeah. So the nun, she knows that like what I'm doing, if it's out of anger, if it's out of that rage, or if I'm doing something through the rebellious side of me, she's always checking me and is like, how are you making other people feel while you do this? How are you affecting other people? How are you affecting yourself? So she just kind of judges everything and questions.
I almost want you to like embody her. Like, what does she look like? Is she like,
the judge.
She's like, ugh.
She can be super like if you're gonna fuck with me, don't even try because I'm so protected.
Yeah.
And that's like super righteous and I want to say selfish of her, or not selfish, but what is it? What is the word I'm looking for? Like I feel so full of myself when I'm the judge.
Is it the judge or the nun?
Earth. Okay, I think it's
both?
The judge. Both, maybe. Yeah. The nun, she just wants to be good.
Okay, so
but she's judgmental because she wants to be good.
Yeah, so she really values, or this part really values being good.
Making sure I'm doing good service, like to the world and to everyone. And I think where that comes from is when I was at a point, multiple points in my life, I think a lot of people can relate to this, where you just feel helpless. And so when I was like 13, feeling like no one could get me, like not even counselors or anything like that, I was like, I knew I couldn't kill myself, even though I just didn't enjoy my day-to-day reality. But so I was like, okay, fine, I won't kill myself, but I'll use myself as a sacrifice to give back to the world. So that way no one has to, or everyone's going to experience pain, but maybe I can like do certain things to create an environment for people to feel safe and loved and free and close to God. And I do that through music now and the water that I share and just intimate relationships. But I don't know if that's necessarily a good thing, that I felt like I needed to sacrifice myself for the world. If anything, maybe I'm just holding on to some pain there. I don't really know.
Yeah, we can talk about the sacrifice, but I think at the core of this, it's about being good. That's what the judge / nun values. And I usually teach that whenever we're doing, so I call these emotional desires, that it always comes back to one of the 3 core wounds, which is safety, belonging, or worthiness. Sometimes taking it all the way down to the root can be really helpful when we're doing this work, but sometimes it resonates more to keep it at the level of like, this part values truth, this part values being good. So just asking you, do you think that going deeper with the emotional desire with the judge / the nun, does it feel like really resonant when I say good, or do we want to go deeper? My sense is it's around worthiness.
With the judge? Oh, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
And I don't think we have to go too deep with that. I think just the simple labels for them could work.
Yeah.
Too.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the third part, we called her the self-soother or the coach. What name would you give her?
I would give her the name of iridescent because she's always looking from different angles at different situations.
Iridescent.
Yeah. She's the whole spectrum.
Okay, cool.
It's great.
What does she value?
She values forgiveness prominently.
Yeah.
So anytime I'm like beating myself down, she's just like, it's okay.
Yeah.
That wasn't your intention. Screw them. But that's where she needs to work on things a little bit because the whole screw them aspect is like, I got to take accountability when I do mess up.
Okay.
You know?
So
she can't always just brush everything off, you know?
Yeah, I hear you. So it seems like when she goes into the red, if you will, then it's almost like spiritually bypassing.
Yeah. Yeah. So the judge checks her on that all the time. Which is good. So funny we put 3 different people in one.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we got a lot more than 3 people in here. You got like 80.
Yeah. The whole spectrum.
Yeah.
But these ones are perfect to talk about for a session.
So what we're going to do with this is speak from the perspective of the rebel, speak from the perspective of the judge, but they're going to talk to each other.
Okay.
So we'll start with the rebel talking to the judge. I think those are the 2 strongest ones here. And then iridescence kind of comes in and is like, it's okay. It's okay, guys. Relax.
Yeah.
It's all good.
We're all in the moment. We can only move forward. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So if the rebel was talking directly to the judge, and just to bring this back to like what we are working with, we were working with the memory of you as a 16, 17-year-old getting in trouble, drinking, smoking, the DUI. So from that perspective, we'll have the rebel and the judge have a conversation here.
Okay. What is there a way you could ask me a question? Maybe, or ask the rebel a question, just to kind of get me started.
So embody her. You can move in your chair a little bit. Maybe closing the eyes for a moment, tuning in. And how does the rebel feel about the judgment, the criticism that the judge has been giving her?
I feel pissed off, and like I want to just put a big F you up. Like, you don't understand me. You don't get me. You don't understand why I do these things. Like, there's pain that hasn't been addressed for sure. So she's just kind of going crazy. It's like a self-destructive type of vibe for sure. Like, I don't even care anymore. I don't know why.
Is there anything that she, like, from this energy wants to say directly to the judge?
You're only hard on me because you're hard on yourself. You're the same as me.
Yeah.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah.
How dare you instill fear in my mind and make me condemned by the same limiting beliefs that you had. Screw you.
Yeah.
And that could go to, you know, coaches, teachers, parents, anyone that kind of has influence on the younger generation. I feel like it's bound to happen. We talk about our beliefs all the time, but.
So when you're ready to switch positions and embody the judge and respond to what was just said.
I know better. I don't know why you think I'm trying to hurt you. I'm sorry that you feel that way. Do you not see what you're doing? You look ridiculous. Like, did anything good come out of those rebellious acts that you made? You idiot. How embarrassing. I know better.
Mm-hmm. And how would the rebel respond to that?
I don't even understand. I'm innocent.
Yeah.
How dare you? I wasn't given a manual or a book or anything like that. And sure, maybe I was, but I didn't understand it. So, yeah, that's the dynamic there.
Yeah. And flip back into the judge whenever you're ready. Respond.
You were given a manual. You just didn't accept it because you were curious. You wanted to explore. And that's fine. You have time to do that. But you're going to look back and realize why they were not. Or, I don't know.
Yeah.
Everybody makes mistakes.
Yeah. And this is what happens when we start talking from these perspectives, is my sense is that the judge her heart's kind of softening, hearing this emotion. Yeah. So you don't have to play a role of who you think the judge is. The judge gets to be who's actually present in your heart and in your mind when you're hearing the rebel talk.
Yeah,
like
she was
this.
getting soft.
Yeah. So what would you say from that softness to the rebel?
I would say, like I said, it's okay. Everybody makes mistakes. You'll just realize why I'm better someday when you drop all of the resentment you have towards love. I'm just trying to help you be who you want to be and not feel so bad about yourself and victimize yourself all the time and make it seem like you're living in just the worst place ever, because you're really not.
Yeah.
You create what you want to create. Stop creating all these bad things. It's annoying for not just you, but for everyone that's around you. Like, I'm sorry to be so judgmental, but seriously. Yeah. And then the rebel would say, oh, I just can't even get out of it. Like, I don't know how to think in a more creative way. Sometimes my head just feels like condemned to being pissed off, but that's probably just unresolved trauma or unresolved emotions or unexpressed emotions. So I think that's it for between the two of them. I'm getting some good clarity though.
Hi, babe. I'm coming in here to say that if this healing process and conversation is inspiring you, opening your heart, moving you, it's time that we work together. With me by your side, you will become your best partner, parent, lover, and friend. I'll help you heal from your past, unlock what's possible for you, and embody authenticity, confidence, and peace that isn't conditional to good things happening. In the show notes, you'll find the application for private coaching. Fill that out, and I'll let you know if I genuinely think that I can serve you with where you're at and where you're wanting to go. I can't wait to see who you become. Yeah. What does the judge appreciate about the rebel? And talk from the judge to the rebel. I appreciate that.
I appreciate you for being so curious and looking how to better things, because that's really her intention, I think.
Yeah.
So I appreciate you for, even though seeing what's wrong in the world is not very beneficial sometimes, it is helping us address those things.
Yeah.
But the fact that you're acting out about it, and this is to the rebel, the fact that you're acting out about what's wrong in the world, it doesn't really help things. So that's where we have a little bit of some tension.
And now embodying the rebel. Is she receiving?
Yeah, she's totally receiving. She just wants to say that I understand what you mean, because all I really want is to feel like I'm doing good, and I'm being good by serving evolution. And if you're saying that the only way to do that is to act in good faith, that's not really what I've been doing. I've been acting out in rage and anger. So I see why you're judging me, because I'm definitely not helping. And we both want the same thing, which is to feel good. Mm-hmm. So I will work on that.
And I wonder too, from the perspective of the judge, if she can see how you really have learned a lot from the things that you've done when the rebel has been making the decisions.
Mm-hmm. Like how the judge... Wait, say that one more time.
So can the judge see how by you making the decisions you've made when it comes to being rebellious or challenging the status quo, how that has served your evolution? I'm hearing that both of you want to grow. You both value growth and serving evolution and serving other people, serving community. So can the judge see that actually the decisions you've made have served that? Yeah.
She's getting a lot more forgiving, honestly. I think it's interesting because I thought that they would be so counteractive, but they both have the same end goal, you know?
Yeah.
So I can't get too mad at the rebel. But...
And what does the rebel appreciate about the judge?
I appreciate that you keep me up to high standards, because I wouldn't want anything less. But I get like overwhelmed with pressure sometimes because of that.
Yeah. And how would the judge respond to this? See, now we're kind of coming to a place of understanding and compromise. Like, okay, so the pressure doesn't really work for me. That actually hinders me. That hurts me. So what would the judge say in response?
It's hard because I can't just tell you to do whatever you want. I mean, I guess I can, but it's like, I'm just trying to keep you in check sometimes, you know?
So how could the judge keep you in check from a place of love?
I think she could... I don't know why I want to say, like, when I go to prayer, that's what gets me out of the pressure, because I'm like, at the end of the day, like, I'm just another human. Like, I kind of belittle myself in a very humbling way, so that way I don't feel that pressure of needing to be worthy or whatever. And so I think the judge can help my rebel by also acknowledging that, which is, we're all just trying to experience this reality. And there's trials and errors with it. And so, yeah, it's a big experiment experiencing all this stuff. So,
yeah. And the concept of good and bad is what I call a spectrum of the mind. It's a spectrum of ego. It's very like black and white thinking, which I think the judge kind of sees things like, that's bad, that's good, that's right, that's wrong, black and white. And the invitation with that is to start zooming out, stepping back from this dualistic and polarized view of yourself and of the world, starting to see more of the gray area. We're like, okay, I see that wasn't the most helpful decision for me, but I wanted to do it. When I did it, I learned from it. There are lessons, there are gifts here. And also, maybe I just wanted to have fun. And sometimes it's okay to just have fun. You're not as long as you're not like hurting someone, putting someone in danger or yourself in danger. This can be like very programmed in the church and in the dogma of even just the concept of sin. Sin actually means, it's an archery term. It actually means to miss the mark. So it's like,
I didn't know that.
You're an archer, bow and arrow, you miss the target, you sinned. It doesn't mean something's wrong with you. It doesn't mean you're bad.
Or that you don't have any arrows to spare. Yeah. Shoot again.
Yeah, it's a mistake. Yeah. And we can take personal responsibility for those sins, for those mistakes, take that as data as we're living our life. Okay, did I like doing that? Was that actually something that I want to do again? Instead of having like you're a bad person, having the shame, having the criticism, it's just having an honest, non-judgmental assessment. Is this in alignment with who I believe myself to be and who I want to be? Yes or no? Do I want to do that again? Do I not want to do that again? Takes the charge away from it. And this is something that's really important when we're on a healing path, a spiritual path, is being able to have that self-assessment without the shame and the criticism and the judgment.
Yeah. And I would say, going off of that, like a big thing that I struggle with sometimes is letting go of those mistakes. Like I'm really good at, like the self-soother side of me is really good at seeing what parts worked for me, what I want to do again and what I don't want to do again. Sometimes I find it difficult to not be resentful for those mistakes or feeling like I'm going to lose my tribe because of it, like people in my life.
So I think there's a piece here where it's like part of taking accountability is atoning for something. If you hurt someone, then saying I'm sorry. If you did something that wasn't in alignment with who and what you want to be, then saying I was acting out of character. That's not who I want to be. I'm sorry for that.
I don't know, but that's a simple way of letting go. Yeah.
And that's how it's been up until now. You haven't had this kind of conversation and resolution with the judge and the rebel before. Because what that sounds like to me is that the judge is just continuously judging the rebel over and over and over again. Like not being able to let go is actually, I would reframe that into like, okay, I'm trying to let this go. I'm trying to let this go. What needs to be embraced within you? What part of you needs love?
Yeah. The first thing that came up was like, we just need love.
Yeah.
For that in those situations.
Yeah. Because what that like not letting go, if you can't stop thinking about something, it's because something needs to be felt. That's like a very good thing to keep in mind. If it keeps replaying, then there's something you haven't felt that needs to be felt within that situation. And my sense is that it's probably one of these younger parts, the teenager, the rebel, that's feeling judged, like, oh, I'm bad or I'm wrong. And really, she just needs to be embraced. She needs love.
Yeah.
So that's your homework, is to experiment with that. Anytime you can't let something go, like, okay, instead of what needs to be let go, the question is what needs to be embraced. Yeah.
Since our last session, that's been a big thing coming up for me. Just coming to myself with love.
Yeah.
Totally.
So 2 more things I want to do. We didn't really talk much with iridescence. It seems like this was more the judge and the rebel, but I think that's perfect. I think that's what we needed to do. I want to create an agreement between the judge and the rebel. How will they communicate with each other in the future? Like, what's a compromise that they can create together?
I think when the rebel wants to do something exciting or just spontaneous to get out and get going, instead of my judge saying, like, you're going to mess up again, you're going to, like, instilling a lot of fear, on those actions, which haven't even manifested yet. My judge has been and will continue to work on looking at what the Rebel's doing from a place of love. Like, how can this excitement, this spontaneous stuff help uplift not only her, but people around her? Because the Rebel gets us out of our skin and our conditions and our limiting beliefs. And that's not necessarily a bad thing, even though she's made mistakes before.
Yeah.
I'll just meet it with more, what good can come out of this by asking that instead of assuming that she's going to fuck up and then make her all scared and end up messing up.
Yeah. And my sense is that because we've worked with some of the judgment here, that the judge will kind of transform into being more like a helper of like, hey, that's not really in alignment for you. Yeah. Versus like, you stupid idiot, don't fucking do that because you're dumb.
Yeah. You know? Like, she's hard.
I had a really tough inner critic too. And it would be, she was loud, but really what I realized is she was so scared.
Yeah.
Of not, for me, it was of not belonging. She was so scared of being rejected. So if I did something wrong or bad or whatever, it would come with like this intensity of, you need to change. That's not right. Take that post down, or you shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have said that. And it would just like replay over and over and over again. And I would just get trapped in the chaos of like regret and remorse with that. And now I almost never hear my inner critic within me. But when I do, it's more of like, oh yeah, you're right. I do need to change that. Thanks for letting me know. It's more like, I imagine her like reading a book, being like, hey, you might want to look at that. Yeah, I don't think that wasn't your best work. Okay.
Yeah.
Versus
total different delivery.
Yeah. Just like, you know, raging out. So
what's wrong with you?
My sense is that is kind of what the judge will, that's kind of the evolution that you can expect with this.
Yeah. Totally been feeling that for myself.
Yeah. And the way that will happen is if you continuously give yourself love, give the judge love, give the Rebel love. At the core, that's the only thing that they really want. You're like, okay, thank you. I hear that feedback. I appreciate that. And it's okay. And we are worthy. We are good. We are safe. God loves us. I love us. I love you. Thank you for your feedback. I'm going to make the decision.
Yeah. Totally.
Yeah. Okay, we're good. So let's do a few rounds of compassionate self-forgiveness. Have we done this before?
Is this the I'm sorry for misunderstanding?
Close. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that blank, in truth, blank.
Okay.
Do you want me to offer you one to start?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that I'm bad.
Yeah. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that I'm bad or there's something wrong with me. In truth, I just needed to sit with different parts of myself because they needed to be heard. And I'm glad that I gave them the space to. No shame or fear around vulnerability, because at the end of the day, it's all love.
Yeah. And if I was doing that one for myself, I might even say like, well, in truth, I've learned a lot from doing those things that I thought were bad. And in truth, could I ever really be bad? Is that like, what is like, bad is actually a concept. So what does that really mean? Like, I like to go like really deep with like, what does that really even mean being bad? Maybe like in truth, that's a concept that I learned in my childhood, that I learned in school or in the church. And that doesn't actually resonate for me anymore.
Yeah. And that's the Rebel in me has totally like thought of that too. Like, what even is, like, it's just a label.
Mm-hmm.
But I find now that when I'm like, some of the things that are in religion do guide you to feeling love. Like, sometimes I feel better when I don't drink and stuff like that. But sometimes I feel great when I drink too. So
then that becomes your own personalized compass and intuition. In knowing that if I'm drinking, I'm agreeing to do it in a responsible way. I'm not going to put myself or anyone else in danger. And I'm agreeing to what might happen. I'm agreeing to being a little risky and spontaneous and whatever. And it's like you're agreeing to that beforehand and tuning in. Okay, does this feel in alignment for me? Are these the right people for me to be doing this with? Is this actually what I want tonight?
Yeah. And then being okay with my decision regardless. Because if I'm not okay with my decision, then that's where the judge can make me feel.
Yeah. Like, and probably she just doesn't want you to like do something that you'll regret. Yeah. And that will actually be bad. And by bad, I mean like it will harm you or someone else. So taking that feedback, like, okay, how can I do this in a way that I get to be fun and I get to be spontaneous, but it's also safe.
Yeah. Yeah. So I forgive myself for the misunderstanding that I'm bad. In truth, I'm just looking out for myself.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
I think so.
That feels sweet. I feel like that was nice for the judge to hear.
Yeah. She's like, I'm not trying to do anything wrong.
Yeah. They're both trying to take care of Charley. So let's see. Another forgiveness. I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that beating myself up is a viable way to make myself change. Or an effective way to create change.
Yeah. It's like the concept of, sorry to go off on a trail, but it's like like in the Gene Key books. I don't know if you've heard of Gene Keys.
Haven't gotten into it.
Well, there was someone that, I think it's Richard Rudd, who wrote about one of the Gene Keys is all about doubt. And talked about how doubt actually serves evolution. Because when you're like doubting yourself, or when I'm feeling like I'm messing up or doing these things, it's actually bringing out like a different way, changing the system. Or that's what I was saying. When I'm beating myself up, when I'm doubting myself, I'm actually just looking for different angles on how I can improve. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It actually serves evolution.
And when we take the charge off of the criticism, then we can clearly see, okay, is this what I want? Is this not what I want? We can access discernment.
Yeah. And then be more confident in the actions that I take. So that's good. There was one thing that came up in my head, but I lost it. There was something I was going to say. For the forgiveness exercise. Oh, that's it. This one's interesting because it's not necessarily a bad thing, but I forgive myself for feeling like
buying into the misunderstanding.
I forgive myself for buying into the misunderstanding that I need to save the world.
Yeah.
Instead, or in truth, I really just need to save myself or meet myself with love. Because if I'm like feeling like there's something wrong with the world, then I'm feeling like there's something wrong with me. Whereas if I feel like I'm just full of love and light, then I see love and light everywhere. So that was a huge misunderstanding for me. And I just like would sit in that like depressed, pissed off vibe.
Yeah.
And yeah, I really didn't need to save the world. I just needed to save myself. So I was actually causing more destruction by being like that, I think.
Yeah. And ironically, that gets you to the place you want to go is when you are loving yourself, when you're feeling whole and grounded. then that's the energy that you're infusing with everything that you do. That's the energy that you're exchanging when you talk to someone, when you take an action. It's actually way more effective to love ourselves
first,
than to criticize ourselves.
Let the cup runneth over.
Yeah. If we want to create change, if we want to do good in the world, if we want to create a world of wholeness and unity and quote unquote save the world, it's way more effective to love ourselves in the process.
Yeah. First. Yeah, definitely. So, and the more I can learn to love those parts of me that my judge would criticize, then it'll be easier to do that with other people too.
Yeah.
Because I think we all have those parts and they just come out at different times.
Exactly. To the degree that I love myself, I love you. When I love myself so deeply, when I'm embracing myself, you become so much more beautiful to me. I can see you for who you actually are versus my projection of my unhealed stuff onto you.
And then you walk around feeling like you're making other people feel bad, but it's because you feel bad. And so you are making other people feel bad. Or I'm talking to myself right now, but.
Yeah, I think you're talking to a lot of people. It all starts with self. We can only project ourselves. So if I project that you are beautiful, it's because I think I'm beautiful and I see that projection in you.
Yeah.
I see the beauty in you because I see the beauty in me. I love you because I love me.
Totally. And what you see is what you receive is what I want to say on that kind of.
And giving is receiving. Yeah. All that I give is given to me.
It's beautiful. Did you ever work in NLP by chance? Okay. I took an NLP course and you did like a parts integration thing today, like certain techniques that I've learned before. And I'm like,
oh yeah.
Like, wow. Like, I'm glad she's pulling this out. So thanks for that.
The
super professional.
The tools are not actually that different.
Did you make them?
I weave a lot of different things together. But also I weave these things because I've gone to my own depths so many times and I've healed so much within me that I'm like, okay, that feels like that part needs to express, that part needs to blah. But I always come back to the model of explore, express, embrace, embody. Whether we're working with parts, we're working with a thought, we're working with somatic energy in the body. That is what I found to be most effective. And then I utilize the other techniques and tools that I've learned from various teachers.
Okay. Just wondering. Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So give me a takeaway. What are you walking away with this session? What are you walking away from this session with?
Well, I came in here with rage. Like so much of it. That was hilarious. And now I'm walking away in love. And I feel like that really is key. Like I'm grateful that I have a space to let that rage out and have someone to integrate it all with me and guide me back to a place of love. So yeah, I want to give thanks to you. I couldn't do it alone. It's really hard when you're sitting with all of those different parts and you don't know how to integrate it. So
yeah, my pleasure.
I guess my takeaway is just forgiveness and love for the parts of me that feel hurt.
Yeah, that forgiveness and love are actually way more effective as a strategy to get me where I want to go than criticism and blame.
Yes, totally.
I mean,
I feel like I can go do stuff now, like instead of mess things up because I'm just so clouded or whatever.
Yeah. And it's like if criticism and blame and self-judgment worked, then that's what I would teach. I would teach you how to judge yourself so well. But it's just not an effective strategy when you want to grow and you want to evolve. Yeah. It's not inherently bad, but it's not effective.
It's not, Or else it would be a solution. So yeah, I'm so happy with this session. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome.
That's great. A lot, but we did it.
We did it.